the #1 disgrace of the chess world. Born a Ukrainian, now a Russian prostitute, pissing on the graves of his former compatriots. Ouch. Oh my god, what a tweet. Oh my gosh, that is really, really brutal. Oh, ouch. All right, so here we go. Here's the article, and let's get going. Let's get going with the article. FIDE under pressure to strip Russia of chess Olympiad. FIDE has revealed it will hold an extraordinary meeting to review all of its official planned events in Russia as the chess world reacted to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It comes after the world governing body came under intense pressure to strip Russia of its flagship chess Olympiad, the chess equivalent of the FIFA World Cup, which is due to be held in Moscow this July to August. All right, let's keep going. Now, there might be more to the story because I see you guys in chat are writing some stuff. So if there are more links, my mods will obviously update me on what's going on. Several prominent players and commentators have called for the Olympiad to be moved following the shocking events overnight and criticized FIDE's failure to act. Peter Heine Nielsen wrote the chess Olympiad and the FIDE elections has to be relocated away from Moscow later this year. The chess world has to show unity and solidarity with Ukraine. All right. Katerina Nemtsova says, what a horrible day for the world and especially Ukraine. The first good move for FIDE Chess is to cancel the 2022 Chess Olympiad in Moscow. All right, there's another one from Ben Feigl. It's also kind of peculiar, you guys, that like Gary's tweet and my tweet are magically nowhere in this article, it looks like. A little bit peculiar. Anyway, let's keep going. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Grandmaster Andrei Berishpolets called for the immediate resignation of FIDE's president, a former deputy prime minister of Russia, Arkady Dvorkovich. So, wow. That's actually, wow, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. There might be more stuff that I'll cover later. My mods will obviously tell me if there's more. If there's more, that my mods will give me the links and everything. Okay. So it says, Dear FIDE Council, in view of today's Russian attacks on Ukraine that includes launching missiles on Kiev, Kharkiv, Odessa, and other peaceful cities in Ukraine, as a member of FIDE, I demand immediate reaction from FIDE. Particularly, I call FIDE officials to issue an urgent official FIDE condemnation of Russian aggression and call to Russian government for immediate stop of the attack, immediate resignation of FIDE President Arkady Dvorkovich, ban of all Russian chess players and tournaments in Russia. I ask the entire global chess community to support this request. All right. So let's keep going. Here we go. Peter Heine Nielsen, a grandmaster and frequent critic of FIDE operations, also took aim at the wording FIDE chose to describe Russia's hostilities in Ukraine. FIDE's statement issued on Twitter said, FIDE Council expressed its grave concern regarding the current rapidly deteriorating geopolitical situation. During its extraordinary meeting, FIDE Council will review holding of all the planned FIDE official chess competitions and events in Russia. The member federations and the responsible FIDE commissions will be consulted in order to take the most appropriate action. All right. That's a tweet. We keep going. But Heine Nielsen told Chess24, the chess world needs to bring itself into a situation where we don't have to call it a rapidly deteriorating geopolitical situation, but to be able to express our full support to Ukraine and call it what it is, a Russian invasion of a sovereign country. Jacob Agard, the Danish-born Scottish GM, went further. In a post on Facebook, he called for all Russian players to be banned from FIDE competitions and for the management of FIDE to be replaced. Now, first things first, I guess I'll read it anyway. But the first thing first that I will say is that I don't think, like, I get that people are very mad, but you can't blame the people. Like, you cannot blame the people for what Putin is doing. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people like. I mean, you say yes, you can. I don't agree, because then honestly, I'm going to say if you look at the history of every single probably every single country in the world, there's been something really bad that has happened. So it's like that's going a step too far. For example, you saw on Twitter probably like five Russian GMs, like top players, and they're basically saying that they don't agree with it. So like I think to like, you know, when someone loses their mind, like trying to blame the people, and there are many cases of this throughout history. And I don't really want to be political about this, but there are many countries where you have regimes and large portions of the population, in many cases even majorities, do not actually support the government that's in power. So I think trying to blame the people, like punishing the people when you should just be punishing the person, as Gary Chess himself said, like there's one person who should be punished for this, who's causing this whole mess. So that's what I would say. All right, let's keep going. It says Jacob Lagarde says the perfect gentleman, Mr. Arkady Dvorkovich, who would never openly favor something as ridiculous as imperial war, has strong historic ties to the inner circle of the Kremlin, calling Putin his boss when he was running for the FIDE elections in 2018. In private, I am certain he's horrified, as will be almost all Russians with a knowledge of the world. However, he is now a representative of a criminal regime and cannot represent chess on the world stage. Sadly, FIDE is entirely controlled by Russians and entirely dependent on Russian money. Now, I will get to this point a little bit later on. FIDE in its current form is therefore unable to take the consequences of Russia violating the most basic requirements of the United Nations Charter, which would be to cancel the Olympiad, cancel all ties to Russian sponsors, removing Russian players from the World Championship cycle, and Russia from European and world events. I would suggest that the continental organizations take over the management of FIDE until a free and fair election can be called without Russian candidates, presumably in 2023. So let's keep going. All right. Several sporting organizations have already severed ties with Russia in response to the events. UEFA will move this season's Champions League final from St. Petersburg, with the decision set to be confirmed at an extraordinary meeting called for Friday morning. Germany's Schalke FC decided to remove their shirt sponsors Gazprom, and we'll be talking about Gazprom a little bit later on, the gas giant that also, or I guess I say it here, the gas giant that also sponsors FIDE. English Premier League side Manchester United also removed Aeroflot as a partner. Schalke have decided to remove their shirt sponsors Gazprom following the events taking place in Ukraine. All right, keep going. The International Olympic Committee, of which FIDE is a member, said it strongly condemns the breach of the Olympic truce by the Russian government. However, for FIDE, which is often accused of being Russian-dominated, any decision to move the Olympiad or any chess event away from Russia is likely to be highly controversial internally. Mr. Dvorkovich has been FIDE president since 2018, when he replaced another Russian, Kirsan Ilyumzhinov, who led the federation for 20 years. Several of FIDE's big-name sponsors are Russian firms, including gas supplier Gazprom. By the way, let's take a look at that. Let's see, where are they at today? Let's see, where are they at? Oh, they're up. Sag. They're up 11% today. Very sad. They were down 27% yesterday, but they're up 11% today. Very disappointing. Anyway, let's get back to the article. Here we go. Okay. FIDE's accounts available on the website also reveal FIDE received nearly $1.5 million in 2020 and nearly $2 million in 2019 from mostly Russian corporate donors, including Russian Railways, Norilsk Nickel, and Rosatom. Dvorkovich has been in Kampala, Uganda this week as part of a delegation attending FIDE's second continental meeting. He has yet to speak publicly about the implications of the invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, several of Russia's top players have expressed concern about their government's actions. Russia's number one, Yan Nepomniachtchi, described today as the worst Black Thursday the world had ever faced. All right, so it's in Russian, so I mean, obviously I can't translate it, but he's talking about a Black Thursday. All right, it says, Nepo has already told the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour broadcast before the invasion that everyone needed to stay sane, and said this whole situation is pretty sad for me. Exactly. All right, we have Andrei Yesipenko, the 19-year-old who faces Nepo in the Airton's Masters semifinal today, said he had really hoped for a peaceful solution to the situation and that it was terrible to realize that it was all happening. By the way, it's really funny how you see everybody on one side basically acting pretty sane and normal, and then you have then you have someone else being a complete I can think of a word that starts with a D and ends with an S, and that's what I would say about a certain other person. All right. However, Russia's former world title challenger Sergei Karjakin claimed it was Russia's sacred duty to help keep peace, echoing the line from Russian President Vladimir Putin when the invasion started. So, Karyakin's position is that we didn't start the war in Ukraine, and I'm for peace and calm in Ukraine, and since the residents of Ukraine couldn't manage it, it's our sacred duty to help them. Our soldiers came with peace, and support of the Kiev regime is support of war. What an idiot. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it. Completely misunderstanding what the reality is. Like, this isn't even, honestly, this was part of the propaganda that was being used to start the war, but it's not the actual reason that the reason that Putin was talking about. The main reason Putin is trying to trying to do this is because he's arguing it's about NATO. So even Sergey here with his tweet is once again showing that he doesn't understand anything whatsoever about politics. I mean, if he wants to tweet about it, tweet about the actual reason that Putin is pissed off by everything and not this nonsense. So let's keep going. Yeah, he's getting false info. I mean, the actual reason is related to NATO. It does not have to do with anything else. That's the real reason. So Sergey here basically is clearly just drinking the Kool-Aid completely. Thanks for not holding back on the issue. That's a refreshing take. Yeah, it's pathetic. Like, I mean, that's not the real reason. That's not the real reason at all. So anyway, let's keep going. Sergey then published and finally deleted an extraordinary tweet at a time of immense suffering. Taxi driver in Dubai. Where are you from? From Russia. Russia is great. Our prime minister is there now. In a few years, we will be close friends with Russia. We are not as stupid as Ukraine. Now, this is really in poor taste because what you're seeing here is like, you're seeing two tweets here where it's basically like making jokes about the whole situation. Like, people are dying. Like, innocent Ukrainian civilians are dying. Soldiers on both sides are dying. Like, people are dying. War is never good. And here's Sergey out here being a complete dumbass and basically just making jokes about the whole situation. And it's really quite pathetic. Really, really quite pathetic. So let's keep going. All right. Will the chess community or fellow participants accept Sergey Karjakin as a player in the candidates tournament, the 8-player event later this year that decides the world championship calendar or challenger? This is also a question. Chess events being moved from Russia is not the only implication for the game, however. There is now an open question about whether Russian players will be able to travel to Belgrade Grand Prix as sanctions are set to be imposed. Russia's decision to invade Ukraine has also resulted in the 12th world champion Anatoly Karpov being banned from entering Europe. I mean, he is in the Duma. That's how it is. So let's keep going. The 70-year-old is among the Russians sanctioned by the EU for voting in favor of the recognition of the self-proclaimed People's Republics of Donetsk and Luhansk in eastern Ukraine, a prelude to war. The sanctions mean Karpov will be unable to travel to or transit through Europe. Karpov, who has been a member of the State Duma since 2005 and supported the Russian annexation of Crimea, was among 351 members of the State Duma who voted in favor of the proposal on February 15th. All right. So pretty long article, not too crazy. We do have updates, by the way, to this because it was an article posted yesterday. So I will, of course, let me put this here. I will, of course, go to Twitter now. What do we have? FIDE Council has decided that the 44th Chess Olympiad, including the competition for players with disabilities and the FIDE Congress, will not take place in Russia. FIDE will do our utmost to find another organizer for the Olympiad and provide more information in due time. Okay, so that's one tweet. What else do we have? We have one more tweet. What is this? And we have one more tweet. The number one disgrace of the chess world. Born a Ukrainian, now a Russian prostitute, pissing on the graves of his former compatriots. Ouch. Oh my god, what a tweet. Oh my gosh. That is really, really brutal. Oh, ouch. True? Yeah, that's a good one. That is pretty pog. That is pretty pog. Anyway, what I was going to say beyond this is also, of course, this really does throw into doubt what is going to happen with the Grand Prix at the moment, because one of the people who's done coverage on our channel, Maria Emelianova, she is a Russian citizen, and basically you have to get I don't know if you have to get an actual visa or if there are visas for going to countries, but basically she was saying that she can no longer go to Latvia or the Czech Republic because basically those countries are revoking Russian visas. So what's happening now is, like, you begin to wonder, Belgrade maybe is okay, but Germany has never really, Germany obviously is one of the places that they have to make a big stand on the issue. And I kind of am starting to think that there's a good chance that Russians just won't be able to get visas to play in these tournaments. And this is on top of the already the issues that they have, which is, so to hold the tournament in Berlin, the first Grand Prix there, and we can agree or disagree on this, obviously, because it's a very touchy subject. But to get into Germany, you basically have to be vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you can't get in. Now, as we know, Germany does not recognize the Sputnik vaccine from Russia, or I think is it Sinovac or whatever the Chinese vaccine is. They don't recognize them. So there were issues with the fact that for all the Russian players, they had to they basically they had to get exceptions for players who were not vaccinated. They also had to get exception for Russian players who were vaccinated but not with the vaccine that's recognized by Germany. So you look at those issues where they had to get exceptions to begin with, and now with what has just happened, I think it's borderline impossible for them that they'll be able to hold the third Grand Prix in Berlin. And of course, again, Russia is a very prominent chess country. You have a lot of Russian chess players. Quite a few of them don't agree with what's going on, but there's a good chance they're all going to get locked out. And I guess theoretically you can have a third Grand Prix in Berlin without Russian players, but you're gonna have at least 4 players, if not more, who are not able to play in it. So I think the whole thing is very, very, very questionable. So I don't know what's going to happen. Additionally, what I would also add is, again, for FIDE, it's very, very bad. A lot of their big sponsors, Gazprom in particular, have given money to FIDE, and so now they're shut off from the international banking system. So it's very, very bad. Very, very bad. I mean, I'm very skeptical that it's going to happen as is. Additionally, I'm also kind of curious how the funding is going to work for the FIDE Grand Prix cycle as well, because the sponsors of Aegon/World Chess have been Russian. The sponsors are all Russian sponsors, and I have not been paid yet. So you really hope that they got that money outside of it's I guess in EU accounts or something. But you also wonder what's going to happen with the Grand Prix too. So it's very, very bad all the way around. So yeah, not paid now. Again, I'm not saying that I'm not going to get paid, but you kind of start to wonder now with what's going on how it works. So might the funding be insured in some way? Highly doubtful that it was insured. I would also add separately that I think Sergey is basically gonna get shadow banned. I think that's the right word to use gamer terms. I think Sergey is just gonna get shadow banned from tournaments. Like, he's not gonna be outright banned or anything like that, but based off of all these idiotic comments, I think he's basically just not gonna be invited to any tournaments going forward. And I don't think he should be. I thought, actually, to be honest, he had a good result in Tata Steel, but there were like 2 or 3 games where he made really quick draws with the white pieces, which made no sense. And I think Sergey is just not going to get invited. Apology tour incoming. I mean, please give me a break. So yeah, who cares about the money right now? Well, actually, it's not Matterhorn. It's not actually about the money, but the point that I'm making is if you have issues with the funding now as well because the sponsor are Russian, it's a big problem in terms of trying to hold events, and that is really a problem going forward. And I'm not sure what to make of it. Honestly. So yeah, Russians are not allowed to support their country. Well, I mean, of course they are, but I mean, I think it's the way he's going about it. A, he doesn't talk about the real reason behind it, and B, he's making a joke when people are dying. Like, I mean, that's the ultimate thing. Like, you can talk about all these other things, but at the end of the day, like, innocent people are dying. And I mean, it's just very, very bad. It's very, very bad across the board. So yeah, and I also feel very bad for like basically the Russian players. Like, you look at these guys, like, honestly, you look at these Russian players like Grishuk or Dubov or Fedosev. All these guys, they just want to play chess. Like, they just want to play chess. They this stuff is not what they really want to be dealing with. They just want to play the game. And now if they can't get invited, Yasipenko too, I mean, all these guys, like, all these people, they get punished for Putin's idiocy, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Innocent people are dying, and people who get punished for this are people who basically aren't involved. So yeah, it's really, really sad, any way you look at it. Sergey just tweeted. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sergey probably just what did he put out? Okay, my mods put it. So let's see, what is the tweet? Here we go. Hopefully this is not too insane. How lucky I am to live in Russia. Oh, right. And yeah, this is from Tarjay. So I don't see Tarjay's tweet. But he put out some tweet. Is today going to be the day that I unblock Tarjay? Is today going to be the special day? I feel like Tarjay has been very negative towards me for a long time. And I really made him eat his words with my good result. I think today is going to be the day that I'm gonna unban him. Today's the day, you guys. Today's the day. Today's the one day. Today's Tarjay's lucky day. There we go. All right. So let's go back. Let's take a look. Okay. Carlsen to TV2. When you represent a country that does so many strange things as Russia does, you get many ups and downs. Russian players, and I both think this is something a country shouldn't do. Oh, wait. So this is a quote. So he says, Russian players and I both think this is something a country shouldn't do. I have to do my best, and I'm lucky to live in a country where there is peace. And then Sergey's reply, Sergey replied to this by saying, I'm lucky to live in Russia? Wait, is that for real? Wait, is that for real? Oh my God, that is horrible. Wow, that is absolutely horrible. I don't even understand that. That's like really that's really unbelievable. Jeez. Ban Sergey. I should just block Sergey. No. But see, here's Sergey out here. He's even making me like he's bringing everybody together. Like now I even unblocked Tarjay. So good for Sergey bringing everyone together. I mean, maybe it's a joke, but actually, you know what the thing is? Even if it's a joke, though, the problem is, it's like, how are you making a joke about this situation? As I said before, like people are dying, innocent people are dying because of this, and you're just making jokes about the whole situation. Like even if it's a joke, I mean, you're making a joke about people who are dying. Like there's just pathetic, I mean, that's like just pathetic. No other words for it. But at any rate, yeah, really bad, really bad. And as I said, I think Sergey, like, he's just gonna get shadow banned. He's just not gonna get invited to tournaments, in my opinion. Even though he has a nice rating and everything, I think organizers are gonna be like, no, we're not gonna invite him at all. So I hope he feels good about all of this. So terrible. I don't know if we have any other tweets or not to cover, but very bad. Very bad for chess. Certainly what has happened, because again, out of all the countries, out of all the countries that are like really big on chess, Russia is by far and away the biggest. You have the most support financially, and for this to happen is probably going to have a very bad effect on chess. That's what I think. So yeah. Tarjay's latest tweet, did Tarjay just tweet because I unblocked him? Maybe he did, but at any rate, really bad, really disappointing to see. And I'm pretty pessimistic. I have a feeling that, and again, like, obviously I do want to play. I don't think anything should happen, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold a second and third Grand Prix in the same way they are. And then it's going to become a big question: what happens with the candidates, and what happens like with myself and Levon? So who knows? But is Bortnik okay? Bortnik left. Show the tweet from Tarjay. What is this tweet? Okay, let me Control C this, Control V. For some reason, it keeps opening it up in Edge. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. A strong statement by FIDE's managing director from Latvia after stripping Russia of the chess Olympiad, also urging colleagues to review sponsorships, relationships connected to Russian companies. Okay, so this is from Dana. I guess if I open it, it's too big, so I'll just have to read it, even though it's a little bit small. Actually, I can make it bigger. 1 second. I think this is good. Okay. FIDE International Chess Federation Council relocates the 44th Chess Olympiad and FIDE Congress from Russia. While any international sports organization's duty is to represent Olympic values, bring peace, and care for the best interests of sportsmen, even during the most turbulent times, our action cannot be separated from the actual context. I reiterate the importance of the FIDE Council's decision to cancel organization of Chess Olympiad and FIDE Congress in Moscow and Khanty-Mansiysk. No chess events and competitions are to be held in Russia while it carries out the brutal incursion in Ukraine. Under the current circumstances, I would also urge my colleagues to review sponsorship relationships and relocating FIDE operational activities outside Russia. Is any means valid for reaching your goals? In a war, each day is counted with human lives, not hours, and not with jokes either, as someone else would like to do all day long. And this fact alone does not allow excuses or arguments to use war as the means or solution. Russia's military invasion in Ukraine is to be condemned. There is no room for justification. I feel deeply sorry for all the people who have become chess pieces in somebody's hands, being sacrificed or used for attacking in a vicious game of power. I pray for them and their families. So yeah, so this was a tweet, or a tweet, obviously this Tarjay's tweet, with this comment from Facebook. Check this tweet. Maybe Tarjay made another tweet, I'm being told. But at any rate, yeah, so who knows what's going to happen now. I mean, I was already very skeptical. I was very skeptical about the Olympiad, whether it was going to be held. Obviously COVID's still an issue and everything else, but now, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Who really knows? Because I don't know if these figures are public. I don't think they're public figures. Everyone's just sort of guesstimating, but from what I've heard, the Olympiads cost somewhere north of $10 million to organize. So that's what I've heard from many different people over the years, is like 10 million plus to organize Olympiad. Now, if Russia is sponsoring that with $10 million, I don't know where they can hold it with such a short time frame. You're talking about 3 months out, lots of money, many 3,000 plus players at least coming in for the event. So I don't really know. 10 million is what I've heard from people. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but that's what I've heard from many people. And now what even can you do in such a short time frame? Like, where can you hold it? I mean, who really knows? There's a St. Louis billionaire. Yes, I mean, St. Louis in the past has been discussed before for trying to hold an Olympiad, but St. Louis doesn't really have the infrastructure for that. Just thinking about St. Louis, there are only probably a handful of hotels in the downtown St. Louis area. There probably are. I mean, again, you have hotels out near the airport, but to have 3,000 plus people, the transportation, all these other things, it's not realistic. So I don't think that's gonna happen there. Who knows where it will be held, but I'm very skeptical. I'm very, very skeptical. Dubai could do it. Maybe Dubai could do it. That's definitely possible. Just take Russia's money and move it somewhere else. What are they going to do? Sue? Well, the only problem is, you guys, you can't take Russia's money. Russia is cut off from the international banking system right now. So as an example, Spurs Bank, which I believe is their biggest Russian bank, their stock price went down 50% yesterday. That's like, imagine JP Morgan or Citi or any of the big banks, and their market cap goes down by 50% in one day. So not only are they blocked, but they also are losing money. They don't have money. They're not cut off from SWIFT yet. Okay. Not completely cut off. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, like that. So it's only getting worse. And I don't really know. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't know. Down 50% is not enough. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. I am very skeptical. I will cover, of course, I will cover the last Tarjay tweet shortly. But yeah, once they get cut off, it's all over. Belgrade is good. Belgrade, I think will happen. But I don't think the third Grand Prix is going to happen in Berlin. I mean, I don't know where they can move it, but I'm very skeptical. Of course, on the other hand, maybe Putin is going to do some about face today, and he's going to do some about face and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just testing you guys. I'm going to back off." But of course, people are dead, and I don't think there's really any going back from this at this point, because they did invade. They just invaded. So I don't think it's happening at all. Thank you, Matterhorn, for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're supposedly ready to negotiate. Well, I mean, again, like I said, the thing is, they invaded. It's what it is. They invaded, and I mean, as I think about it, it's just insane. I mean, nobody wants this. Nobody. And again, not trying to be not trying to like be over the top political, but everybody's losing in this. Like, innocent people are dying. You know, Ukrainians don't want this. I think most Russian people don't want this. You're seeing a bunch of protests. Like, nobody wants this except for Putin. Even the rich people in Russia, they're losing their shirts now with the stock market collapse and getting cut off. It's very, very bad for business. Like, there's no one who's happy with this except Putin. So it's very, very strange. Very, very strange to me. That's what I would say. All right. At any rate, yeah, so we do have one more tweet that I'm going to cover, which is this tweet. Let me control C this. What is this tweet? Okay. This is a tweet from Tarjay. The second I start watching Hikaru stream, I see this on my screen. Today is Tarjay's lucky day. Okay, that is actually very, very good. Again, you guys, what can I say? Maybe that's the best thing. That's probably the only good thing to come out of this is that it's uniting everybody. It's bringing everybody together. You know, Sergey's tweet and all the stuff Russia's doing. The only good thing is it's bringing the world together. That's the one good thing. Only good thing out of this.